Okay, so the next day after, the next day? Yeah, something like that. And we have some answers. We have not failed entirely. That's how projects go. You have a project and you just don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes you have to regroup a little bit. So check this out though. We do have a few things done. Like you'll notice that's a new battery. So you must have went and got that swapped out and changed.
Yeah, I exchanged that at the parts store.
Yeah. So that's cool. And then that was another big project. Now, there's two things on this that you figured out. Because one is the screw, right? Like we couldn't get that out.
Yeah, the center screw, the part that the insert that it screws into was just spinning. So the screw would not come out. But I thought about it for a while, and I thought if we got the right size socket and put it on there and held it so it wouldn't turn, we could use a drill through the square hole for the socket ratchet extension, whatever you want to call it, and drill the head of that screw off, and then we would be able to take the plug, this plug right.
Yeah, that was a really good idea.
And then we'd have to get a new screw, and we'd probably never get the screw out of this one ever. But the idea was to go to the 5-speed version of the controller. But what we found out with doing some math, or using a website that does math for us,
yeah,
the fifth gear with these 545 RFE transmissions is a 0.67 to 1 ratio for the final drive in fifth gear, which would put the RPMs at around 1,850 at 65 miles an hour, which is about where we were.
Yeah. So when we were on the freeway, we were kind of surprised. We expected it to be a much higher RPM.
Expected it to be over 2,000.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It dropped down below, right around 1900 RPM, which is where it should be with this size tire, with this, differential ratio, and a 0.67 to 1 transmission
for the 5-speed.
For the 5-speed.
Yeah.
And so, I did find out you could actually have had this controller flashed to the newer software, which apparently somebody did in the past.
Yeah, and one of you guys, this was really cool. One of you mentioned that they thought maybe it was already changed out, but so we had to do some checking, some math. But if you, that's not bad because now we don't have to deal with that.
Yeah,
but
it's fine.
But isn't that cool though that you can change it from a 4 to 5? I mean, it's just neat that it's already done. I mean, and
yes, they probably had a dealership do it at some point in the past.
I think a dealership, somebody screwed that up, don't you think? I mean, because you didn't feel like, oh, it's tight and then bloop, it's loose. It just was like loose.
Yeah, it wasn't overly tight when I started taking it out.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm being careful to not do what apparently had already been done.
Yeah.
So
sort of.
So it's in there.
Success.
Yeah, we'll call it. Look what we did.
That's right. Well, but it is a neat thing that you can do if you have one of these Jeeps. You can go from a 4-speed to a 5-speed. I mean, I've never even heard of that before, where you can take the same transmission, just change some of the programming and get that. I think it's like awesome. So that's cool. So we're gonna say thumbs up on that because also you figured out a solution. If we would have had to change it,
yeah,
we
could have drilled that head off.
That's right.
And gotten a new screw to install the new one with the same connector.
Fearless Intermediates, man. Can't tell us what to do or not do. So battery's done. I always want to call it. It's not the transistor. It's the resistor. Yeah, on the inside. That you're researching because obviously the one we got was very different from the one that was in there.
So what I think I did is I got the resistor for the vehicles that don't have dual climate controls. And this one does have dual climate controls, so I have a different resistor on the way. It's not here yet. But when it shows up, I'll make Jake crawl under there and swap it.
We're going to do it. It's going to be a piece of cake. Okay, awesome. And so we're also continuing on with a number of things on this.
Well,
we
did do the bulb in that.
Yep, we got the bulb.
Day.
Yep, we got the bulb.
Really, really wants to polish these because they're all hazy.
Look at how terrible these are. You can't even hardly see. Look at that. You see that film? That's not good. That messes with your vision at night.
Jake wants to polish those.
Yep.
And then there's a minor leak on the petcock of this transmission radiator. We can't see it from above. It's down there somewhere.
It's down in there.
But it's
in the depths.
And it's a common leak. I'm hoping that we can take it off and get a new O-ring for it and get it to stop leaking.
A nice, simple fix.
Because the antifreeze for this is very expensive.
It is. Okay, we got the baby up in the air with jack stands for safety. And now I've got a rubber glove on this time, so I'll mess up my other ones. We're gonna crack that baby open and see if we can't fill this up.
There might be some
let's try
crud
it.
in the bottom of it, so.
This time, instead of crawling under around the back, they've got this really nice little porthole here that you can reach in and hopefully turn that valve. That's hard to do with your hand angled that way.
Yeah.
But I've got it. So we think this is done, but I got a little tip for you here. We both do. So Tom marked that right there. Because if you're looking at this bucket, you're like, is it still draining? Is it done? Maybe you don't want to pull that hose out. Just mark the outside of the bucket as long as you can see through. So we think that's done draining. But if it leaks, it was dripping off the little shroud right here. But we don't want to put that bucket under because that's got good fluid in there we can reuse. And that won't be good. So now we're going to take out this little valve, butterfly. What would you even call this?
Petcock.
What'd you guys say?
Petcock.
Pet. I always get that wrong.
Some people call them drain cocks. Some people call them plugs.
Oh, I hear bubbles.
Oh, are we getting more in the bucket? Yeah, it's going up in the bucket, maybe.
Okay, I'm going to hold this in because I think if I let this go, it's going to leak out the back. All right, so that's good. Awesome. That could just keep on dripping.
Well, we go to the parts store.
Oh, we go to the parts store because what we believe, what you're thinking the problem is this guy right here, right?
Yeah.
Like you're thinking there's something on the inside right there, huh?
Yeah.
So we take this so we know what we need to buy, and then we'll go get that while this is dripping. Come back and hopefully it's fixed perfectly. Isn't that right, Dr. Torque? Fixed perfectly. Awesome. Do we have what we need? You think it's in
Maybe.
that baby?
Maybe. That
That's
one,
quite
perhaps.
the assortment right there.
5x2 might work.
That'd be cool. Here's the problem with Harbor Freight. When you come in here, you start finding stuff like we came in for the O-ring, and then now we're like, oh, pry bars. Oh, I can use this for the next project. This oil pan.
Magnetic things, grease
Magnetic
guns.
things. Yeah, grease guns. Look at all these. And then you're like, but what about a bigger pry bar?
What about a smaller pry bar?
What about a smaller pry bar? What about an adjustable pry bar? Harbor Freight really needs to sponsor us. That'd be awesome. Except we probably clean them out. So this is the one that we took out. Took off. Those are the ones that we have. That's not blurry. And it's not quite the right size. So the question is, do we put like 2 on there? I wonder if that would work.
I wonder if they squish out and make the problem worse.
Yeah,
I don't want to lose a bunch of antifreeze.
No, we don't. I mean, we could try one, but then we got to fill it back up. That's the only hard part. Is the only way to try it is to
try it.
Oh.
According to Chrysler, the solution is to replace the whole radiator.
Wow. What's the problem there? Huh? I think that's a great solution.
So I think, since we don't have a lot of choices, is I'm going to leave the old one on.
Put one more on.
And then put one of the not quite big enough.
But fat as we could find.
Fat that would be tight on this shaft, but still maybe bump.
That's a lot. That's definitely thickening that up.
So it thickened it up quite a bit, and hopefully it doesn't squish out and defeat the purpose.
Well, we can screw it in and see how it feels too.
Yeah, Jake can try to
throw
that in there and see what he sees.
We'll see what we see.
Then we can put some liquid in and make sure it's not just gushing out.
Yeah, just a little bit. That's a good idea. All right, cool. Let's give that a shot. So, yeah, Tom was just saying we should be able to feel some resistance as we go in there. I definitely do now. I mean, like, it's definitely, it's very hard to turn this thing from this angle. It's a really neat little thing you got here, but at the same time,
it's a neat hole in the bumper.
It's hard. It's still hard to get an angle, so we'll just keep tightening and then we'll try it. But I think it feels like it's working. Okay, so we got that plug in, and we have, let me show you here, we've dried it off, because you're going to want to know if it's leaking, if you can. So it's dried off in there, right there. Now we're going to put, I guess we fill it up, huh?
Yeah, put the goop back in.
Put the goop back in. So far, nothing. Oh, that's probably where we're dripping. Oh, yeah, it's air. Okay, yeah, so we'll start this baby up and let's cycle some of that fluid. It seems like it's getting pretty full, but we're getting it. Okay, so we've got it pretty full, as you can see, pretty full, but we have to wait for the thermostat to open up to really pull the fluid in the system. Because we know we're low, because we still have some of the bucket. Where is the bucket? Right here. That's the bucket. Not a lot, but there's still some left in there. So.
And you know, we've lost some to the ground. And
yeah,
whatever,
on top of it. So we definitely at least need that much. But we also have to bleed this. So there's the bleeder, not the valve, but the, what you call it, bleeder.
What you call it, a bleeder screw. I mean, it's a pipe fit.
Yeah, bleeder screw. But that sucker is in there, man. You can see it's got like some kind of like something on there. And so we're just stuck a screwdriver in that end to just give it a little crack. But you also let this fill up because it was bubbling back up this side pretty bad. This looks good down here. There is nothing leaking, nothing around that right there, that spot. So that's good. We're dealing with its glasses, its eyeballs, its headlights, and they are terrible. Look how fogged up and orange those are. Really, really bad. Really, really bad. So there are ways to fix that though. Some of them, it's a chemical product you put on there. The problem is, I've tried that. And you know how when you take a rock, and you dip it in water and you pull it out and you're like, oh wow, shiny. It's all shiny. It's like that, but it only lasts, it lasts longer than that, but it's just like a chemical add-on. And so once it goes away, it starts getting crappy again. So there's another way. It's this baby right here from Mothers. And this is actually polishing and resurfacing that.
I wonder what comes in this kit.
I don't know. Let's actually.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Ooh. I do like that it's supposed to be all in one, right? I mean, like we've got something for.
We can do it with the impact.
Yeah. Oh, it's Velcro. That's cool.
That's Velcro. So it comes with a 3000 grit pad.
So this is for sanding this baby down, sanding off that. You got to take off that surface, and you got to use sandpaper to do that. But then it wouldn't be much better; it would just be really rough.
3000 is super fine though, so it's not like it's super scratchy.
No, it's not.
But
yeah,
it does have some
it's just going to be exactly. It's just going to be kind of grayed out.
Power plastic 4 lights.
And then that we use with the buffer in there to make it all
Buffy.
Shiny and beautiful. So it's kind of cool because it all comes together. All you need is a drill. So we're going to get a drill. We're going to test it out and see if we can't make this thing see better.
You know what you shouldn't do?
It needs 20/20 vision. It needs at least like, what's decent vision?
Yeah, 20/30, 20/40.
Yeah, at least that.
So don't drop this in rocks.
Yeah, that needs to stay very clean because that's the final buffing product. So let's get a drill and try it out.
Ooh, there's some 1500 grit in there too.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. Ta-da.
See?
There's 2 of those.
What's this one?
3000.
Okay, so that's what we start out with.
Severe damage headlight restoration pack. So this is for severe damage.
Oh, if you've got like
it's
probably
twice
scratches.
as rough.
Yeah.
It's twice as rough as the 3000.
So we're gonna start. I think we start out with the 3000.
Okay.
Let's get going. So when we open this up, there is instructions inside the box and instructions on the box. This one just talks about polishing and buffing, really. And so I looked in this, and the first thing it says is stop. It wants you to try buffing first before you wet sand. So we might as well. We've got probably plenty of polish. So we're gonna just put a little bit on. What would you say, on the light or on this baby? Ooh, do I want fast?
It says to start slow,
Does
so you're
it?
not slinging goop all over everywhere.
All right. All right, don't fling it, because it'll go right in my eye.
Oh, do we need to get you some safety glasses?
Probably should, but...
Jeez, I don't think you're going to get it on there.
So, it's already making it clear. I mean, look at that. Wow. Is it going to be that easy? Do you see that? Look at that difference between here and here. I'll do this half. Look at that. And that's not even polished. Wow. I mean, the difference, that's pretty darn dramatic. Wow. Well, let's keep polishing this, and then we'll buff it and see what we get. But so
pop
far,
the hood so you can try to get up on top a little.
yeah, I mean we should get everything. This has got lights down here too, so yeah, we'll keep buffing, and then we'll come back on this light. Yeah, that's crazy. That's so fast. Okay, well, we'll do the other side, and then we'll buff, or actually we'll probably buff this one so you can see the difference. But yeah, that's a good idea if I get my head out of the way.
Holy moly, look how horrible that one looks.
Yeah, you can't even, wow. You can't even see in there.
Seems to make a difference.
I'd say it seems to make a difference. I'd say, you know, whenever we do these products, we talk about, should we post a link for everybody on this one? I'd say yes to this one. We'll post a link on that one. I mean, man, we'll keep working on this, but already that is so dramatic and easy. We didn't even need to do the wet sanding.
Yeah, we didn't even need all of this. I mean, basically a buffer and the mother stuff is what we needed for this headlight. If you have some with more damage, this kit comes with 1500 and 3000 grit sandpaper to go with first if you need to take out some really bad, you know, hazing or scratches.
Really rough stuff. Yeah, I'd say scratches too, or I mean, man, that's crazy. We got tons left over. Let us know. We'll just send you this. You can, or swing by and we'll we'll buff yours. It'll take seconds.
Wait a minute.
All right, awesome.
Watch out. People try to take you up on that.
They might.
They'll be swinging by my house all day, all night.
There'll be a line.
It's been another day, and I'm like, I ain't doing your headlights. Go to Jake's house.
Go to Jake's house. You know, one thing that I was noticing on this when I was doing it was about medium speed, or it did start flinging it everywhere, but tapping it out and or patting it and then kind of spreading that polisher out and about medium speed works perfect. And look at this. That's clean and dry and beautiful. And you know, other thing I was thinking about is it really changes the way the front of this looks. Like, let's close this. There we go. I mean, I think it makes the whole vehicle look better, don't you? Like just shinier, newer.
Yeah, it jazzes up the front end. Makes the rest of the stuff look bad, but you know,
that's
it
awesome.
Distracts people with shiny stuff.
It does. We'll put a link in there for sure. That was cool stuff. So what is this again? This is
Mother's New Lens.
New lens. Oh, I get it, Mother's. Not no lens, no lens, no lie.
You need me to pronounce it for you to get?
I probably do.
Oh.
New lens from Mother's. We'll post a description. Thanks for checking out. Look at some other videos. Have yourself a good time. It's Uncle Jake, the man on the camera. There's Dr. Torque right there. Nice, We're gonna take you out to fist bump, a friendship, whoop-ow. I think that's a great solution. Whoops, I almost dropped you. Shook up, but we'll do it just in case. You know what I'm saying?
Never, ever, ever, ever shake a baby.
That's good advice. Okay, action! That's scary, dude. It's not Halloween. Angle. Oh crap! That is.
Oh, right on your leg.
That was more runny than I thought. That was for demonstration purposes.